Pentagon has failed its audit for the 8th consecutive time. 8 years, 8 failures, and it still can't account for where its own money went. Trillions of dollars in assets, weapon systems, warehouses, equipment have not been properly recorded. This isn't a typo. It's the story of the world's most expensive military being unable to balance its books. And in this video, we'll break down where that money actually went, step by step. Since 2018, the US government has required all major federal agencies to undergo annual financial audits. 23 out of 24 major agencies have passed. The only exception, the Pentagon. In the latest report released in December 2025, auditors identified 26 material weaknesses and 2 significant deficiencies in financial reporting. The figures reported across different audit periods vary. Some years, as much as $1.5 trillion in assets could not be verified, while in others, the number reached as high as $4.5 trillion. Even members of Congress disagree on the exact figures. But everyone agrees on one thing: this is not an ordinary accounting error. So how can an organization with hundreds of thousands of employees and a budget worth trillions fail to track its own assets? Part of the answer is technology. Some of the Pentagon's logistics systems still run on software written decades ago. These systems cannot communicate with one another. One warehouse records an item while another system never sees it. The result? Sometimes the same equipment is ordered twice because the system doesn't see what is already available. It's a quiet but very real leak that leads to billions of dollars in unnecessary spending. This is where things become even more complicated. Part of the Pentagon's budget is allocated to classified projects known as special access programs. By their very nature, much of the spending within these programs falls outside standard audit procedures. The system is designed to protect military secrets that the public doesn't need to know. But it also creates a blind spot that even auditors cannot fully examine. The question is this: when secrecy begins to conflict with accountability, who is actually auditing whom? Then there's the budget cycle itself. A common practice across federal agencies is that any unspent budget at the end of the fiscal year is taken back. That pushes some departments to spend money quickly before the deadline, regardless of whether the purchases are actually necessary. Instead of careful planning, speed and spending volume are rewarded. Experts say this is one of the cultural reasons behind the Pentagon's repeated audit failures over the years. Now we come to the real question. Pentagon officials argue that this is simply the natural consequence of managing an enormous and highly complex organization. Critics see it differently. They argue that the lack of transparency makes it easier to avoid accountability. In a recent congressional hearing, one member of Congress asked a direct question: why does waste in smaller agencies become a major issue while much larger numbers inside the Pentagon receive far less attention? That's a political debate. But the underlying fact remains: since audits began in 2018, the Pentagon has yet to receive a clean audit opinion. Pentagon leadership says it aims to achieve a clean audit by 2028. To reach that goal, it is working on new financial systems, better integrated databases, and modernized processes. But after 8 years of failures, many experts remain cautious. Because the problem isn't just technical, it's institutional. And changing institutional habits is far more difficult than installing new software. In the end, this isn't just an accounting story. It's a story about whether the world's largest military budget can remain accountable to the people who fund it. Trillions of dollars are financed by taxpayers, and knowing where that money goes isn't just a matter of curiosity. It's a right. What do you think? Can this system really be fixed, or will it always remain this way? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next video.